Welcome to Gabe's Cave. I'm Brandon.
And I am Nasty Who Laughs.
Today, we have an episode of Graded Goodies, but first, let's thank our sponsor.
RPGhiring.com. And Comic Shield.
ComicShield.com. No dash. No dash now. It's just ComicShield.com. They listened. So, before we get started, let's do our card giveaway.
Yeah.
Congratulations, winners. You awesome winners. And you lucky dog that won last place, you get the loot box. We'll be shipping those out ASAP.
Be sure to take pictures and videos of yourself receiving your items and post them on our social media. Other people love to see those things that you won, and so do we. Brandon, we got some graded goodies today. That's our Tropic.
I love our Tropic Thunder.
Yes.
Man, Batman Damned, #1. This book came out a few years ago. Had a lot of hype around it because it was one of the first Black Label books.
Yes.
That was intended for a more mature audience.
Yes. These happen to be graded 9.9, which that solidifies the graded goodness.
Right. It was pretty common to get a 9.9, pretty easy in these books because of the heavy cardstock. The printing was well done, and there's a lot of 10s out there as well. But I believe we sent these off and got 9.9s. Excellent books. We've got the Lee Bermo cover as well as the Jim Lee cover. You can't go wrong with either artist. My personal favorite is the Lee Bermo cover, and I assume that yours is?
The Jim Lee cover.
The Jim Lee cover.
That's right.
It takes all kinds. But excellent books, 9.9. Who doesn't love to have a 9.9 in their collection?
I do not have a 9.9 in my collection, so I would say that I would love to have one.
I would love to have one too. This is Martimus Rosson's. So
yes, which brings us back to Nasty will never have a cave. I will only ever have a hole.
Nasty's Hole.
Nasty's Hole.
On Facebook.
Speaking of holes, this kind of dug itself a hole. There was some controversy around this book, was there not, Brandon?
There was a quite large endowed controversy.
It was. Very, yes.
It's the first appearance of the Batmember.
Or Batwang, if you will. Batman goes full frontal, just like Basic Instinct.
Right, but more frontal, even more frontal than Basic Instinct. That was more of a cross-legged. This is more of a out in the open, just hanging free.
It's for everyone to see. It's free for all eyes.
It was an interesting choice. I think it was probably just to stir up the controversy for sales. Maybe to get some ladies in there. I don't know. But it had a lot of controversy, but it sold very well. It has incorporated a place in history now as a first appearance. With Batman comics, it's sort of weird. There's like a first appearance for everything in Batman. There's like the first time Batman went to a dentist.
Yeah, the first time the Batmobile got destroyed.
Right. There's for whatever reason, Batman stuff has just a first for everything because Batman is such a huge deal.
Yeah.
So this is in the lexicon now of Batman, the first Batmember in comics. Yeah, I'm glad these are sealed. But definitely, you don't want, if you find these raw, you don't want your kids to see them. If you find them raw and they look good, send them off. You never know, you might get a 10 or
That's
9.9.
right. That's right.
It's very possible. These are very common in 9.9s and 10s. They're not rare at all, but it has that warm, fuzzy feeling.
It does.
To see that 9.9.
Yes, and it's in the gold lettering, so it's like, yes, I hit good. I did good.
But this is our graded goodies. Be on the lookout for this. These are pretty affordable. If you're out and about, comic shops, they have these for relatively inexpensively.
Obviously, we have 2 copies for sale because they're available for us to show you guys. So they're available through Gabe's Cave Comics, Cards, and Collectibles. So if you guys want one of these amazing 9.9 first appearance books, holler at us. Let us know. We can make it happen for you.
Yeah, we can. We sell these in person, but if you want to purchase them online, I'd be happy to put them up on the website for you to get cheaper shipping and all that good stuff. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this graded goodies. Let's move on to our artist spotlight this week. Enjoy.
Hey everyone, we're here today with John Bruce. John, how are you doing?
How are you today?
I am wonderful. I'm glad we're here to talk and hang out. We've been chatting for a little bit while we get everything set up, and it's always a pleasure to talk with you. It's just it's great being here. We'll get started off. First question is, what inspired you to do this set?
Well, the specific cards themselves. I like to try and draw something I haven't drawn before. I usually primarily draw the Star Wars cards for pops. So whenever I get to do a card set where they can just say, like, just draw whatever you want, within limits, I usually kind of rifle through the old memory and see what's fun to draw. So Batman, always fun to draw. So it's the 30th anniversary of the Batman animated series this year, so I was inspired to draw a couple of the Batman cards. And yeah, just anytime we get to kind of let loose a little bit, so I quite like to draw sort of cartoony stuff, whereas Tops is more, for Star Wars anyway, it's more sort of photorealistic. So anytime I can kind of let loose a little bit, but still the realism kind of creeps back in a little bit, as you can see from maybe the Kevin Smith card that actually, it kind of looks like him. But yeah, for the most part, anything comic booky, anything cartoony, I'm for it.
Well, I'm certainly glad you did a broad spectrum here, and that's the whole thing with Gabe's Cave. We love it when people just take off and do what they feel like they want to do, inspired to do. That's not really, we don't really have any like strict set rules other than, just a few things here and there. But other than that, we just like artists to be inspired to do what they want to do. And I'm glad you did a broad variety here. And I certainly love it. I know I was a huge fan of Scooby-Doo. We've got Velma here and Wolfman. When I was a kid, I know that was one of my favorite cartoons. And then also growing up, I really enjoyed the 90s Batman series, which we've got Two-Face, Batman, and then Clayface here. What was your inspiration on specifically these two villains?
Just the look of them. I very much like the look of the animated Clayface, and even though it's just sort of one solid brown color, you can still play with the texture a little bit. You can add shadow, you can add depth. As for the Two-Face card, I've never drawn Two-Face before. And I just watched the first episode with Two-Face in it. And I thought, you know what, I'll give Two-Face a go. I quite enjoy the two halves of the character. You get to marry it up. That's a lot of fun to do.
Sure, it's like drawing two different cards and doing a puzzle card or whatever. You've got It's neat how they do that, and I like how you've done your version as well. Like I said, we're talking about Scooby-Doo. We've got Wolfman here and Velma, and then we've got what you said from the Thundercats. This is Mum-Ra.
From the Thundercats, yeah, that's the main bad guy. That's Mum-Ra before he totally hulks out and becomes a big beastly Mum-Ra. So that's his kind of mummy form. I just always like the shape, the red cape and the sort of the bandages. It always appealed to me.
I've as much cartoons as I've watched, classic cartoons. There, I say classic. I'm a little younger than they are, but I never really got into Thundercats. I probably should have, but I don't know. Kind of like Ninja Turtles. talking cats and talking turtles just they didn't appeal to me as much. I don't know. We'll move on here. We have Silent Bob, and that is what you say, Kevin.
Kevin Smith, yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Smith. That's right. Yeah, Kevin Smith.
Yeah, I'm
So
a,
yeah,
I'm a
Silent
huge
Bob.
fan. So anytime I can draw Kevin Smith, I'm a happy camper. I've shared that card with him on Twitter, and he liked it. So that's always good to get some nice recognition from the person that you're drawing.
Well, yeah,
Um,
absolutely. That's awesome.
but anytime I can draw Jay and Silent Bob or the Viewers universe guys, I'll jump to it.
The what universe guys?
That's Kevin Smith's universe of movies. He has a production company called View Askew, and all the films are kind of interlinked, so he calls it the Viewers universe.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, all right.
So he had the first kind of interlinked movie universe before the Marvel universe.
That's funny. I did not know that. I don't know that I've ever seen any of his movies. Maybe I will be as much of a fan as you are after watching some of them. But I
I'm a
always get
fanboy.
weird views.
So.
Yeah, I always get made fun of because there's, I have seen a ton of movies, but it seems like a lot of the pop culture stuff I haven't seen all of it. So we'll go along here. We've got Hellboy, we got Leonardo, bit of Cyborg Spider-Man. What was the inspiration on the Cyborg Spider-Man there?
Cyborg Spider-Man. I've done a few card sets for Marvel for Upper Deck as well, and they're always like you can't draw any sort of torn costumes or distressed costumes, and the whole point of the Cyborg Spider-Man was a distressed costume, and I just loved it. There was the comic series that Eric Larson drew on his run on Spider-Man, which introduced the Cyborg Spider-Man. If you've ever read it, it's a 6-part miniseries within a series, and it's just crazy. And I just love the fact that it's just pure 90s. It's a big metal arm. There's pouches everywhere. There's bandages where it doesn't need to be. There's stitches all over. It's completely unnecessary, and I love it.
Like that 90s overdone aesthetic.
Oh yeah, definitely. Honestly, I recommend reading the story arc. It's the Revenge of the Sinister Six.
Okay.
And yeah, it's right in that Rob Liefeld, Jim Lee, big pouches, ridiculous huge guns, and it's just fantastic.
Yeah, the ridiculous. Yeah, I suppose the Robo Arm and the ridiculous huge guns do go hand in hand, don't they?
Definitely.
Next up, we have an Inspector Gadget. That is something I haven't seen in a long time. Where'd that come from?
I was just thinking about something I'd never drawn before, and I looked at a list of cartoon characters, and my wife had just bought a couple of Inspector Gadget Funko Pops, and I thought, Inspector Gadget, why not? Always a lot of fun.
Yeah, something I used to watch when I was younger. Next up, we have Michael Myers here, and that's a solid Michael Myers. I love the bit of a what do you call it? Monotone. It's just blacks and whites.
It was a black and white picture that I used the photo reference, and I believe I drew the card actually on Halloween. I was inspired to draw something spooky.
Sure, yeah.
And just so happened I had a blank card sitting there, and I thought Michael Myers for sure.
Spooky card on spooky day. That's right. We have the classic Wolverine. I don't know that I say classic, not classic suit, but we have Wolverine here, and I don't know that any Wolverine will ever do what he's done with Wolverine. Kind of like Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man. You don't really. They made comics after his face now, so he is Iron Man. If they're ever going to be an Iron Man that looks, that fits the part better than him, probably not.
Well, that's it. But yeah, I was to say Hugh Jackman. That's going to be a tough act to follow. Even though he wasn't originally cast as Wolverine, it was a different actor, a Scottish actor called Dougray Scott, who was cast, but he had to pull out due to clashing filming times with Mission Impossible 2. And then they went back to Hugh Jackman.
But Hugh Jackman has ran away with it, and I hate that. We age and he can't do any more movies with the new Disney. Well, I say the new Disney. Disney was great for a while, and then Disney's kind of fallen off now with some of their later stuff. But that's another story in its own. But I hate that he couldn't join a little sooner due to Fox owning the rights. It would have been great for Disney to, suck them in as well whenever they're doing the main MCU, and now they're just kind of doing their own whatever. And next up here, you said there's John. I forgot the last name again, and that is
John Kreese. John Kreese from Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
The actor's name is Martin Cove, and a big fan of Cobra Kai, the TV show. And he's just fantastic in it. And he just looks great. He still looks the same as he did in the 80s in the original Karate Kid movies, which is crazy. But yeah, he's just he's a bad guy you love to love. And he just had a great look about him. And I really like the promotional image, which I used to draw that.
Speaking of people that don't age, has anybody ever noticed that Keanu Reeves is probably 300 or 400 years old? I mean,
Keanu Reeves does not age.
Yeah,
that's true. He does not age.
Yeah, there's some photos of that people found of like paintings of back in like the 1300s or whatever, and it's a guy that looks just like Keanu Reeves, and I'm convinced that Keanu Reeves is probably a vampire.
I've seen that picture. Yeah.
Have you seen that? Yeah, where he does. It's like photos all the way up till now. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Last up here on the cards, we have Azog the Defiler, and such a good one to end on, and an awesome set here. Way to start Series 4 off here with some good interviews. How are things there in Scotland?
Wet. Very wet right now, actually. We had some bad snow over Christmas time. Some really bad rain. But it's we'll see. Hopefully it'll get better. No doubt when I'm back at work.
As I say, they say you always want what you can't have. And I wouldn't complain about snow on Christmas because that's unheard of here. Our Christmas is normally 70 or 80 degrees, which is, wow. I have no idea what it is for you, but hot. Not hot. I mean, a lot of people would probably wear like a light windbreaker or whatever, but I'm in shorts. And I would definitely love to wake up Christmas morning with snow on the ground.
Yeah, but it helps. It's quite cheery. It's nice to look out and see a nice blank canvas of white. It's always pleasant to see.
It makes everything look clean. You could be in the worst of places. And
it does, but it's worse when it freezes though. That's the day after when it freezes.
The first day it's great, and then day 2 or 3 after it melts a little bit and then freezes, that's when things get bad. Well, it's been good talking with you today on the with the cards and everything. And as always, John, how do people reach out to you if they want to get a hold of you for a commission or whatever?
I'm on Facebook, John Bruce Art, really original title. And I'm also on Instagram at I'm John Bruce. Not I am, but I'm John Bruce.
John, which one do you respond to people best on?
Usually the Facebook, although I will respond to both.
Usually Facebook, that is his preferred, so therefore, if you are trying to reach out to him, I suppose hit him up there first, and if he doesn't respond, hit him up on both. Are you open for commissions right now?
Not at this moment, no. I'm currently working on a card set for Richard Parks. I'm working on Ultraman, a 60s TV show. And then I'm hopefully going to be working on my own comic strip. So we'll see how that goes.
But it never hurts for people to go ahead and get chatting with you on possible commissions or whatever you may want to take it in. If someone wants to do
Definitely. I'm always up for the conversation. And if I don't take the commission, I know many, many people that I can pass on to.
Absolutely. Well, it's been great talking with you. If you want to win one of these cards, make sure that you click the first link in the description below. And make sure you check out John as well. Super awesome guy. And I love chatting with him always. So thank you, John.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And I hope you enjoyed that artist spotlight. We always enjoy interviewing those guys and meeting those guys and talking to them for a little bit. Yeah.
Well, let's thank our sponsors one more time, RPGhiring.com and ComicShield.com.
It's the best It's the best way to ship comics, period.
This segment was also brought to you by Peanut Brittle. You want to break your teeth and look like a meth head? Try Peanut Brittle.
I can't with you.